finna got in the gently. Ain't been friends with these. When I was down, I so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm like mistletoe. This do my own. Not gonna lie, some of these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my range. You can see all my pain in my watch. Got my ex down and walking around with my hand on my. Cause I'm popping and I know you not. And I know you see just how I'm living. You know I'm happy with life, so you rockin' Reeboks on treetops, getting guap. Got a big Benz like Sasquatch. Every time you see it, with it, no, it's time.
I got that chicken to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. The ops on IG all the time. I dare them go live. Wagyu steak, I dine. 8 ounce, 255. I can't get funky with too groovy you me. If I ain't had love for me, I would've tried to get Nicki Minaj. J-Rock ain't gonna let you slide. Dory ain't gonna let you slide. You king of the city, I don't wanna be a big fish in a small pond. Tryna get across that water. I need fans in Vietnam. If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it before FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that chicken to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke, they think it's my fault. No court. I want that caught. I'm dripping, I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you, don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis, that's light. Rape in the city, that's light. LED, look at the light. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes.
Hey, this that Eastside Johnny Big Redemption like. Know what I'm talking about? Hold up.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Get out the way, get out my way, yeah.
Yeah.
You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Win, 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 win.
Yeah.
Curve everything else. Win, 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 win. These ops ain't. Win, 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 win. Start chasing that. Win, 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 win.
Yeah.
Big J-Rock go. On 10, 10, 10, 10. Exit at 4. Bring friends. Matt Black 2 dough. Jump in. You might wanna keep score. I win. Forearm tattoos. That's squad. All of them go. Don't try. I walk in room. They eyes wide. Third album come soon. I'm glad y'all gon' die. I ain't chasing after no. I got bigger plans for staying rich. I been tapped in since I was 6. I tap dance all on them. And your diamonds like tap water. That drip way too foggy. These VVS is way awesome. Park CLS for. Drop to your death without warning. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah.
Yeah.
Get out the way, get out my way, yeah.
Yeah.
You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Win.
Yeah.
Curve everything else. Win. These ops ain't. Win. Start chasing that. Win.
Yeah.
You clowns really don't stay outside when I play outside. I put the beats on them like Dre outside. I got the bow side and LA outside. And if you act bad, I bring the outside. Go and get your money. None of my know some funny. I can tell real by who you're running with. I'm all in the field. Duck hunt. Hit my just the. And he was like, boop.
Here.
Knew just what it was. The whole and gave it back, boop. Yeah. 9/11, no malice, baby. But no violence, baby. My got callous, baby. My bare knuckles got talent, baby. I'm all in the wind with it. On Deuce line, I've been with it. She too fine, I've been crashed 2 times. I limo tinted my new ride. I'm riding with the 12 better not pull me over. Championship going dumb. Nothing to something I won. Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Get out the way, get out my way, yeah. You either with me or against me, though. You either with me or win. Win, 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 win. Curve everything else. Win, 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 win. These I'm saying. Win, 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 win. Start chasing that. Win, 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 win.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Houston Texans. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
All right, now look at 56.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flush to his right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Going for the deep ball. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And an alley to run. And he slides to avoid the hit. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he'll bring this one inside the 35. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
He'll drop to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. On play action, they'll throw. Steps. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The four-time All-Pro, J.J. Watt. And that's going to make it 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
From his goal line here, Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain of 39 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They go play action here on 1st down. And that's a loss of 7 on the 1st down play. And an alley to run. To throw on 2nd is Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you got to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they got something good going there, and I think those numbers are going to increase.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Now a play fake here on 1st down. They'll roll him out right. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
11 more on that one, and another 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
No. Check. Patriot.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Looking to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Detroit!
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and throwing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Lamar Miller. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Reset. 2 jet. Down.
Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Oh, able to avoid him. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Being chased out left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Hurry up, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And now out comes Houston.
And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. They give him a gain of 38.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Watson on first down. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Back 22.
Now Watson on 3rd down. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain of 38 there on 3rd down. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Dancing to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Cortland Sutton hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos are in for 6. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Play action for Miller. Now Watson. He sets to fire deep. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Watson now to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And got his man complete. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 84 yards, and the Texans are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And Denver getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Back to throw now on first down. Rolling to his right. Wide open receiver complete. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 56 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half. Now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap. It felt like they had to try and keep him upright.
He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Reed. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Well, look at that, Chuck. A rookie picked the rookie on that play.
How about that? Is that rookie-on-rookie crime? But you know what happens, too. If you're a rookie defender, you tend to adjust to the game a little bit quicker than if you're a quarterback. Too many things still going through his mind. And on that play, the rookie defender won the battle.
And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. Watson hands this to Foreman, and he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd-and-1. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd-and-1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. He's going to let this one go deep. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. It's good to make it 17-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
A very solid gain of 27. First down now, but that clock rolling.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 19 yards is the pickup there, but even with that, they're well short It's 4th down. So we have reached halftime here. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair. And he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm well, all right, never mind. 3rd quarter action now. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Black 22! Black 22!
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Hey, who ready? Who ready? Come back, come back. Come back, come back. 2 jet, 2 jet.
To throw is Watson. To throw on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Denver has a 1st down on a 15-yard play.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
He completes this to Sutton. And now a fumble. The ball's out. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where
nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Off of play action, it's Watson. He's going to loft one, deep left side here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week, he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
On 3rd down, Watson. And that will be incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The former #1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now back to throw. Able to get away. Able to push his way through. Time to his left. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
While you admire anyone trying to pick up an additional couple of yards, they're just not worth it when you take shots like that. Quarterbacks have to stay in the game and stay on the field.
And now out comes Houston. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hey, back 22! Back 22!
Watson, off play action. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. Third and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Back 22! Two jet!
From his goal line here, Watson trying to lay one up deep. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, they were obviously backed up. Had a little bit of space from the goal line, snapping it from the 3, but still try to throw it. And
yeah, exactly. This is where hindsight is 20/20 comes into play, right? Seems like a good idea to throw the ball there. Maybe you'll surprise them and catch them off guard. Instead, you've created a turnover and put your defense in a bad spot.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. They'll drop the throw. Flushed out right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was... And caught by Sanders. Touchdown, Broncos. Emmanuel Sanders with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos turn that interception into a touchdown. Now McManus for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. Know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Come back. Two jet.
On second down, here's Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Griffin. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, black 22. Tiger. Two jet.
Back to throw, Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Again, it's Miller. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Richmond, down, back 22.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
This is taken at his 4. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range, and guess what? They've got a shot.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll buy some time right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you it's not very good.
Black 22! Black 22!
And the pitch goes to Miller. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
His throw incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and it's third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long.
Come back, come back. Tiger.
Watson now on third down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Justin Simmons. 30, 20, 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
McManus's point after is good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And now out comes Houston. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
If they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And when she
he'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going to need something special here on third and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Black 22! Black 22!
From the gun, here's Watson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taking it about the 36. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get their confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain of 32 that time. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Royce Freeman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from taking the lead. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Now a toss play. This is Foreman. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 3rd and 2, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Miller. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those.
Tiger. Down.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Von Miller in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal?
Hey, black 22.
Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like having there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. They'll eat some clock with Freeman. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got Booker. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield.
And this is caught. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Broncos, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a minute, rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder. You got to picture me. Pacific ice on my ocean. Ready for all I can touch. Ladies should never be lucky. My diamonds, they touch. My neck and my belly. They calling for me and they. You want me like you and I love you. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. B-Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go